What up, guys? So, we are jumping into PvP using the Power Fist. I know the Power Fist has been through a couple changes since the last time I used it. I did use the Power Fist when it had the one-shot capability. Now here, I get slammed on by the Assault class right there. It's really tough. It's really tough to deal with them as a bulwark. But yeah, so I'm trying I'm trying my best to find a rhythm with this weapon. It did start off pretty sloppy. But I gotta be honest, I kind of like it. I do think in PvP the Power Fist is like, it's kind of rough because if you consider the Power Sword's capabilities of doing the Power Whirl is like the best part about that weapon, and is one of the only ways you can have the Bulwark basically become a DPS threat in PvP, is basically just using the combos of the Power Sword. And the Power Fist doesn't really have that. However, the Power Fist does have Stagger capability. There we get flanked. I'm basically just doing my best to support my team here. I am using shock grenades. And I kind of start to realize that the Power Fist isn't as good. I start to realize the Power Fist isn't as good as it is in operations. But right there, you see the Stagger, and that's really, really nice. And then I was able to follow it up with another attack. So the way you would want to use the Power Fist in PvP is basically as a two-shot weapon, rather than the one-shot weapon, but you can still hit people. You can still hit people with a charge attack and get them staggered. And honestly, the running attack feels kind of good to just use anyway. So I honestly had a lot of fun using the weapon, but I do need the bolt pistol. The bolt pistol is actually pretty good in PvP. I really like the fire rate, but the bolt pistol also just helps out finishing off targets. If I can't finish off the enemy using the Power Fist charge attack, I definitely need to pull out the bolt pistol and just start, just start blasting essentially. Bulwark's still pretty good in PvP, but as you seen in the beginning of the video, I got slammed by the Assault class, so you really gotta keep an eye out on what is going on in the skies playing the Sword and Board class. Well, here I guess it's the Board and Fist. But yeah, right there was a nice charge attack. The charge attacks are actually pretty good on this weapon. It's just weird in PvP because, like, for example, the Power Sword, the Power Whirl, like I was talking about earlier, the combo swing, you can do that from running into them. You know what I mean? Like, you can run in, you do an attack, you set it up, and then you do the spin and the slam. But for the Power Fist, you're basically, yeah, you're stuck in that situation where you run in with a running attack, you charge in, and you hit them, you can stagger them, but they just roll out of the way of the second attack. So it's honestly kind of weird to use the running attack for the Power Fist. Now, it really only took one good hold for us to create enough space where all we had to do for the rest of the game is just jump on point and throw some shocks, and we managed to get the win here. It does feel really good getting wins in PvP. I haven't played in a while, so I'm definitely a little rusty, but I still managed to make some plays just because I know the map layout and I know shock grenades are good. I am using the Power Fist. I haven't used the Power Fist like really much at all when it comes to PvP. I used it like 1 or 2 times. So it was definitely something to get used to with the weapon. But yeah, those charge attacks are very powerful. You basically have to hit them with 2 charge attacks and you will be able to get them staggered. We had a really good team here. We were able to jump on point quite often. And the ceilings here, the ceilings at this part of the level really help us stay away from any ground slams. Now, we just jumped on that bulwark instantly. I drop a banner here just to help out my teammates, heal my teammates, whoever's around. Honestly, dude, Bulwark PvP is such a fun experience. I really want to play more of it.
God,
for sure.
Peter Keaton is that?
And it seems like we have a few people doing callouts. That was that is exactly what that was. That was a double kill with a charge attack, with both charge attacks. So you're able to basically stagger groups of enemies with the Power Fist, which is pretty nice. I honestly am not 100% sure how many buffs or nerfs really went through the Power Fist since the last time I used it. Since the last time I used it was the time when it was doing the one-shot charge attacks. And yeah, ever since then, I'm pretty sure they nerfed it. Obviously, they nerfed the one-shot charge attacks, but I'm not too sure if they ever buffed it again. I feel like weapons, as far as PvP goes, weapons are kind of in a good spot overall, but I do think the Power Fist, the fact that it doesn't have a power whirl, might put it at a disadvantage compared to the chainsword or, you know, obviously the power sword. But the chainsword is also really good because of the stomp, and I honestly think it's just a very fast weapon, and it does hit pretty hard. The power fist just feels a little bit weak when it comes to those like regular fast attacks. But we are still managing to get a few wins here, which is nice. That tomb map, we pretty much just took over. And yes, PvP has been fun, but obviously there needs to be some improvements. I still think shock grenades are a little bit powerful. Like, there's a lot of times where I notice, wow, I didn't even have to like fight anybody. I could have just thrown the shock grenade and we can pretty much take over that point. But I do think it's pretty cool how a weapon like the bolt pistol, oh, that was such a nice multiplay. That was such a good multiplay. But I do think it's funny that we like the weapon like the bolt pistol. I kind of think it's a little bit underpowered in operations, but in PvP the bolt pistol is very good. And same goes for pretty much all the bolt weapons. I think the Stalker might be a little weird in PvP because it's kind of difficult to consistently hit headshots, you know, especially depending on if you're using mouse and keyboard or controller. I feel like it's a different world when it comes to PvP on console. I was talking about this last time I was playing PvP. But yeah, it definitely feels like sometimes it could be a little bit tougher to have snipers pick off assault classes when they're in the air. Oh, there I get jumped on, which is rough. But yeah, like, but on PC it's really easy to find snipers pick off assault classes. So it's like, I don't know, the sniper class is supposed to counter the assault class, but like, you know, obviously it's easier to aim with mouse and keyboard. So it's possible snipers are just at a disadvantage with the controller. I wouldn't know. I haven't played sniper on console yet. I might try it out. Now here yeah, there it is, finally. I was really trying to find somebody to charge attack. Luckily I was able to find that guy right at the end there. So that was definitely a vicious swing. But yeah, PvP is still really, really fun. There's a lot of moments like this, a lot of chaos. I was able to hit one player. I was able to hit them out with a charge attack, and then shock grenade, and then I got pelted by somebody who's just walking on point. There was definitely a lot of good battles using this Power Fist. I think the Power Fist is obviously not the best in PvP, as you can see. I was kind of struggling to learn it a little bit, but once I figured out that the charge attacks stun into another charge attack for pretty much a full health bar of damage, that's pretty much where you want to be at with the Power Fist. But every other situation is kind of rough, and that kind of makes the weapon a little bit, like, janky. It makes it a little bit awkward to use in some situations for PvP. I just think you're better off, like, the light swings for the Power Fist just aren't very good for PvP. I think in general, if the devs just decided to buff the swing speed of the Power Fist across the board, I think that would be great for the weapon. Oh, there I'm dropping a banner because we got hit by a recon. I was actually doing some great banners for PvP here. It's pretty much my instincts from using it so often in operations. I feel like in PvP, I just started to swing it. Oh, luckily I was able to dodge that Melta. I saw that camo just a little bit late, or I ran into it. I probably ran into it. And then once the sniper knew that I was swinging off, he was like, okay, Melta time. But luckily I was able to dodge just in time. But yeah, so the extra map for PvP, right? The extra map for PvP is definitely a help for, you know, basically grinding PvP. When I was playing PvP and just, you know, messing around with the Power Fist, I noticed that it actually felt like time was going by really fast. Basically, I was able to jump into a game. It was very fast. This is all on PC, by the way. I'm actually impressed with how many people on PC are still playing this game and just having fun with it. I didn't see too, like, I've seen communication here and there, but it's not anything too sweaty, and I think it's very approachable right now. It's PvP right now is likely a really good time to get into it, especially with the PvP custom lobbies. We might see some interesting, we might see some interesting new game modes, maybe. We will see. We will see. I really hope PvP gets some sort of love, to be honest. But it is very possible that we only get the PvP. Oh, luckily I was able to take out that one guy and then get another kill assist there. See, you can play aggressive with the Power Fist, but I will say PvP needs some love. I had a lot of fun doing that.